Welcome back to our channel, dear friends. We always cherish these moments of connection, unraveling the mysteries of Port Charles, just as we have done for so many wonderful years together. The landscape of Port Charles is shifting once again, and I find myself absolutely captivated by the sheer emotional weight of the current storyline unfolding before our eyes. For those of us who have dedicated years, perhaps even decades, to following the intricate lives of these characters, we know that a sudden confession can completely rewrite history. Recently, we witnessed a moment that will surely go down as one of the most pivotal turning points of the year. Right before losing consciousness, Ethan managed to push through his physical trauma to deliver a revelation that sent shockwaves through the screen. He confessed that Phoebe is not his biological daughter. Watching that scene, I felt a profound sense of heartbreak and anticipation, knowing instantly that this single sentence would ignite a firestorm of drama, betrayal, and dangerous secrets across the entire canvas of the show. It is always fascinating to analyze the mechanics of a soap opera confession, especially one delivered in a moment of such intense vulnerability. Ethan was clearly carrying the agonizing burden of this truth for a significant amount of time, and the sheer desperation to release it before slipping into unconsciousness speaks volumes about his character and his internal turmoil. As a longtime viewer, I could not help but feel a deep sympathy for him, even as my mind raced to calculate the catastrophic fallout of his words. When a foundational truth about a family is shattered in Port Charles, the shockwaves never simply affect one or two people. They ripple outward, threatening to capsize the lives of everyone connected to the lie. This revelation about Phoebe is not just a personal tragedy for Ethan, it is the catalyst for a massive, overarching mystery that demands immediate resolution. Naturally, the immediate aftermath of such a bombshell is the desperate quest for empirical truth, leading us directly into the perilous territory of a DNA investigation. We have seen countless paternity tests over the years, and if experience has taught us anything, it is that a DNA test in this town is never a straightforward medical procedure. It is a weapon, a bargaining chip, and a source of immense vulnerability. The impending investigation into Phoebe's true parentage has the potential to alter the legacy of several prominent families. I find myself constantly wondering how the writers will navigate this tangled web, as the search for truth inevitably unearths long-buried secrets that many would prefer to keep hidden in the dark. The tension surrounding the hospital laboratory is palpable, and the anticipation of those results is keeping us all on the absolute edge of our seats. However, a straightforward medical investigation would hardly provide the dramatic complexity we crave, which brings us to the involvement of the ever-calculating Ava Jerome. When I saw Ava begin to circle this unfolding crisis, a familiar sense of dread and excitement washed over me. Ava is a character who possesses an uncanny ability to sense weakness and exploit it for her own gain. She thrives in the chaotic space between truth and deception. As the DNA investigation commenced, Ava seamlessly positioned herself to gain control over the narrative. It is entirely within her nature to view a family crisis not as a tragedy, but as a golden opportunity to consolidate power. Watching her maneuver through the corridors of the hospital, subtly manipulating the situation to intercept the DNA results, is a masterclass in classic villainy blended with deep psychological complexity. The true brilliance of this storyline emerged when Ava actually uncovered the shocking truth hidden within those medical files. She discovered the identity of Phoebe's biological father, and the revelation is nothing short of explosive. Cullum is the father. When this piece of the puzzle fell into place, everything changed. Cullum is a figure shrouded in danger and unpredictability, and his biological connection to Phoebe instantly transforms a tragic family drama into a high-stakes thriller. I must admit I was completely caught off guard by this twist, but upon reflection, it makes perfect narrative sense. It elevates the danger level significantly and provides a deeply compelling reason for the truth to remain hidden. Cullum being the father is not just a scandalous secret, it is a profound threat to Phoebe's safety and well-being. This brings us to the core of Ava's current machinations, which I find to be some of the most compelling character work we have seen from her in quite some time. Instead of simply exposing the truth or walking away, Ava has chosen to weaponize this information. She recognizes that holding the secret of Cullum's paternity gives her unprecedented leverage. By interfering with the DNA investigation and deliberately causing trouble with the results, Ava is playing a remarkably dangerous game of chess. She is intentionally muddying the waters, creating a smokescreen of confusion that allows her to pull the strings from the shadows. As a critic, I deeply appreciate the writer's decision to lean into Ava's manipulative strengths. Though as a fan who cares about Phoebe, I find her actions incredibly frustrating and dangerous. What is particularly alarming about Ava's current trajectory is that her desire for control seems to be morphing into a dark and consuming obsession. It is not merely about having leverage over Ethan or the other families involved. Ava is becoming fixated on Phoebe herself. She is demonstrating a chilling readiness to fight for Phoebe, to claim a twisted sort of ownership over the young woman's destiny. This obsession adds a deeply unsettling layer to the storyline. Why is Ava so determined to control Phoebe? Perhaps she sees a reflection of her own past vulnerabilities, or perhaps she simply cannot resist the ultimate power trip of controlling the daughter of such a dangerous man. Whatever her true motivations may be, this obsession is driving her to take increasingly reckless risks, creating massive new complications that threaten to spiral completely out of control. The danger surrounding Phoebe is now twofold, and it is a situation that requires careful analysis. On one side, she is entirely unaware that her biological father is a man who brings peril wherever he goes. Cullum's very existence in her lineage acts as a beacon for trouble, placing a target squarely on her back. On the other side, she has Ava Jerome actively manipulating her life, treating her as a pawn in a much larger, darker game. Phoebe is trapped between a dangerous biological legacy and a ruthless manipulator, and she does not even know the truth of her own identity. Watching her navigate her life while this unseen storm gathers around her evokes a strong sense of protective anxiety. We want to reach through the screen and warn her, which is a testament to how effectively the show has built the emotional stakes of this narrative. I often find myself debating the ethical implications of Ava's actions with other longtime viewers. Can we find any justification for her interference? Is there a twisted argument to be made that by hiding Cullum's paternity, Ava is actually protecting Phoebe from the immediate danger he represents? While one could try to argue that ignorance is bliss, I firmly believe that Ava's motivations are entirely selfish. She is not acting as a protector, she is acting as a puppeteer. Her interference in the DNA investigation is a profound violation of Phoebe's right to know her own history. The trouble Ava is causing with the test results is not a shield, it is a cage. She is deliberately keeping everyone in the dark so that she remains the only person holding the key, a classic maneuver for someone entirely consumed by the need for absolute control. Furthermore, we must consider the inevitable fallout when Ethan finally regains consciousness. He initiated this entire chain of events with his desperate confession, but he is currently oblivious to the catastrophic mess Ava has made of the situation in his absence. When he wakes up, he will expect to face the music regarding his lie, but instead, he will walk into a labyrinth of Ava's design. The anticipation of that confrontation is incredibly high. Ethan will have to grapple not only with his own guilt, but also with the terrifying reality that his daughter is now in the crosshairs of both Cullum's dangerous legacy and Ava's obsessive machinations. The clash between Ethan's desire to finally tell the truth and Ava's determination to control the narrative promises to deliver some truly spectacular, dramatic performances. As we look at the broader picture of Port Charles, the ripples of this DNA tampering are bound to affect numerous other characters. A compromised hospital laboratory throws every other medical truth into question. If Ava can so easily manipulate a paternity test of this magnitude, what else has been altered? The writers have brilliantly used this single storyline to inject a pervasive sense of paranoia into the entire community. Families who thought their foundations were secure might suddenly find themselves questioning their own histories. It is a masterful stroke of storytelling that honors the rich, interconnected history of the show. We have spent decades learning the intricate family trees of these characters, and the threat of a single manipulated DNA test tearing those branches apart is a deeply compelling reason to tune in every single day. In my personal estimation, this storyline represents General Hospital at its absolute best. It combines the deep emotional resonance of family secrets with the high-stakes thrill of dangerous adversaries and ruthless manipulation. While I sometimes grow frustrated with how easily characters like Ava manage to bypass hospital security, I am more than willing to suspend my disbelief for the sake of such a gripping narrative. The decision to make Cullum the father is a stroke of genius, elevating the stakes from a simple domestic dispute to a matter of life and death. I am eagerly anticipating the moment the truth finally comes to light, because in Port Charles, the truth always eventually claws its way to the surface, and the resulting explosion is always magnificent to behold. As we continue to watch this saga unfold, we must keep a close eye on Ava's psychological state. Her readiness to engage in absolute warfare over Phoebe suggests that she is crossing a line from which she may never return. The obsession is blinding her to the very real dangers she is courting by getting involved with Cullum's bloodline. It is a tragic irony that in her quest for ultimate control, Ava might be orchestrating her own spectacular downfall. Until that day comes, we will remain steadfast in our viewing, analyzing every subtle glance and whispered threat, sharing our theories and our passions for this incredible show that has given us so much joy and entertainment over the years.